All right, welcome everybody to Crown Council Live. I am Stuart Anderson. Hey, Gregor.
Hey.
Welcome. Hey, welcome. Hey, we're grateful to be broadcasting live from Crown Council headquarters in Salt Lake City, Utah, where we will be together. What does the countdown clock out there say?
6 days, 21 hours,
Yeah.
7 minutes and 8 seconds or something like that.
So
in fact, it was so bad they made me turn it off this morning.
That's fun. So in exactly 1 week from right now, we will open the check-in experience down at the Grand America Hotel in Salt Lake City, and we're so looking forward. It's been a year of preparation to be together, and we're going to show you some of that preparation later in the show. I'm going to actually take you live, unseen in 28 years. It's never been seen before. What the warehouse looks like before we pack it up and ship it off to the hotel. So it's kind of, I don't know, will it be impressive or will it be
scary? It's scary. No, it's just scary.
People,
we could tell the lost pallet story if you have time.
Well, it's funny because, until you're in the situation of planning the annual event, and you have more experience with this than I do, Greg, you don't recognize how much time it takes to prepare all. We're not just talking about hiring speakers. Something as simple as the notebooks for the annual event, right? We can't place an order for those yesterday to make sure that everybody gets a notebook. That is a thing that has to be thought about, designed, ordered, and brought to Crown Council months in advance. So preparing for this meeting and all those little things that happen, from notebooks to pamphlets to swag gifts, all of it takes a lot of time and planning, and it all is stored down in the warehouse. So it's anyway. Gregor, what are you most excited about for the annual event next week?
Oh, no question, is seeing the people. I mean, it is when we explain this to people who have never been to an annual event, the speakers, for instance, and we're trying to explain to them who is coming to the annual event and what the mood of the room is. Mm-hmm. And we always tell them, you don't have to warm this room up. This room is ready to go. But we always explain to them that it's kind of like going to a family reunion with people that like each other.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons that Rachel, who plans these so well for us, plans the Thursday experience like she does, because it's an opportunity where you're not hurried to stand in the room and
to be together
and talk to people and kind of renew in a non-hurried way what's going on. And there are members of the Crown Council who we see once a year. I mean, this is it. This is when we see them. We might talk to them on the phone. We might do it remotely, but that is the thing.
What's been the most challenging part of planning this annual event?
The changes. Yeah. I think, over the last, many people might not know that, you and I are currently booking the space for the annual event in 2026.
2026. That's right.
And so we live our lives in a lot of way for the annual event 3 years ahead. And so you have to project 3 years out how many people are going to be in the room, how many guys are going to show up for dinner in rounds of 10,
Mhm.
how big your stage can be to fit the number of tables that are going to be there. And so, the changes in the economy, the changes in the pandemic, the changes in the costs, and so you set your price a year or 18 months out, and then you find out what the costs are 4 months before. But yeah, I'd say that's the most challenging
Yeah,
part. The meeting itself is probably the funnest part.
yeah,
Planning
for
the
sure.
actual meeting, the details of the logistics of it are probably the most stressful part.
Greg would probably never tell this story on his own accord, but I'll tell it so it's saved in Internet Archives. But
Oh, thank
one year he miscalculated a dinner salad, and the salad was not part of the budget for the meeting, and the hotel brought that salad out. Well, if you don't recognize how much a salad costs for 1,000 people, think high, like $30,000 of budgeting for us for a dinner salad. And out it comes. And I remember when we got back from the annual event, we were trying to calculate what did we miss
Why are
here?
we short 28 grand?
It was because a dinner salad wasn't accounted for. So even things as silly as that, a lot of planning and preparation and
Oops.
oops, little dinner salad, man. So very fun. All right, well, we'll do that a little later in the show. We'll show you all the fun. Well, maybe it won't be as fun to you, but it is a really fun thing to see all of our pallets wrapped and all the things we get to
The
share with
inner
you.
workings.
Yeah, very good. All right, well, we have two coaches corners today with our TOPS coaches who are out and about across America. So let's bring in our first coach. I believe she's here. Tanya Bailey is with us. We're so grateful for Tanya. She, like we mentioned 2 weeks ago when we brought Tanya in, she is out and about every week. She travels all over the place. Hey, she's a real pro now. Hi, look at you guys. Wait, I can't hear him. Can't hear you yet.
Oh, let me
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay. I told them to be quiet.
We're so grateful to have you guys as part of Crown Council Live. Tanya, well, you're like an old pro now at Crown Council Live. This is
I like
great.
this. Yeah. Yeah.
Just a brief introduction. Our TOPS coaches are out and about in different practices all across the United States. And this is our opportunity to meet some of these incredible Crown Council teams and the teams that are working with our TOPS coaches so you can learn from them and just get to know their story and who they are and who you're connected with through Crown Council Live. So welcome.
Thank you.
You
Tanya,
guys look like a choir. Are you
Yeah.
I mean, are we gonna do
Yeah. You can't even see them all either. There's so many people behind me. Let me
So
tell you a
fun.
little bit
Okay.
about this amazing practice.
Let's do it.
So I am sitting here at Dental Health Concepts, which is in a town just very few minutes north of Boston in North Reading. This practice has been in existence since 1960. It is very much a tradition of excellence and legacy. And we have what you can see the closest are the three owner doctors. We've got Dr. Mark Webster here. There you go. Dr. Brian Crowley, Dr. Andrew Tonelli, which is the second generation Tonelli, and Dr. Steve Tonelli is here, but not in the room currently.
Very good.
So we have had the honor and privilege of working and coaching with this amazing group since about 2015. And we've been working today. They have an amazing training room as well. What is this room? 40 by 30.
Nice.
We're in the basement today and training on what's near and dear to all of our hearts, which is creating a culture of success and focusing on service values.
Very cool. Dr. Webster, maybe you could give a little history of the practice so everybody knows you guys a little better. Is that okay?
Sure. The practice was founded in 1960 by a prosthodontist, Tufts graduate, Dr. Don Stackhouse, who was also a faculty member at Tufts at the time. He practiced with a number of different associates until 1981, when he met our senior partner now, Dr. Steve Tonelli. Steve joined the practice back in 81. And then the two of them were partners until 1997. I joined in 1993. To my right, Dr. Crowley joined in 2011. And Dr. Andrew Tonelli started here in 2014 or 15. I'm out of sorts a little bit because I'm the one Columbia grad among 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 Tufts graduates here. So I'm out of form, so to speak.
They don't know. I mean, they
I'm
don't.
also a Yankee fan, which is a bad thing to be in Boston.
Oh, man, strike two.
But no, when Dr. Steve, our senior partner, joined the practice, it was a 4-chair, 2-doctor, 2 hygiene practice. We are now a 16 operatory, 8-doctor, 8 hygiene chair practice.
Wow.
It's a large nugget. All of us have trained at Pankey as well as at Spear Education. So we've run the gamut of all the things that you can learn and implement. And we started with Tufts in 2015, just because we were expanding and we needed some help.
Very
And,
cool.
stuck with them ever since.
Nice. Dr. Crowley, will you introduce I don't know how deep you want to go to introduce your team behind you, but can you talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, so we've got a large team. We've expanded. I think we've probably almost doubled in size since I started in 2011, but we've got how many hygienists total are there?
13, 12 or 13.
12 or 13. We've got a plethora of assistants and
A plethora. I have never heard that word. Often.
a big team here. Did you lift it up?
I
and
did.
show
Yeah.
We're fortunate to have we have a great team. It's like a family more than anything. Most of the team members have been here for a long time. We have some hygienists. She's not here, so I can say it. She's been here for 35 years. We had a few retire recently that were here for 30 plus years. Deb Craig was here for what, almost 40 years?
75 years.
That says a lot about the environment of practice.
Once you get in, you never get out. No, no, but it's a wonderful team. Like I said, it's more like family than anything else. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Tonelli, could you talk about that? Why is it that way? Why is the practice growing? Why do people stay with you? What is it that makes the difference?
For me, it's literally family. But yeah, it has to do with how we treat people. You know, the vision has been kind of passed down from all the previous owners, and it's about making relationships with patients, treating them as humans, kind of giving them an experience that they recognize as being different and exceptional and out of the ordinary, so that they go and tell other people about that experience, and doing that all while delivering really high level, top quality oral dental care.
So lots of generational families, I would guess. If you're a generational practice, you probably have patients that are generational.
Yeah, I think we had
Oh, yeah.
we had 4 in the office one day, like
4 generations.
4 generations of one family.
yeah,
yeah.
and so yeah, we see that a lot.
Very cool.
It says a lot about you.
Yeah. Hey, Tanya, can you pick on a team member to share same question? What is it that separates this practice from other practices, or that maybe they worked in or that they know about?
Maybe from one of the plethora of assistants.
The cornucopia of team members?
Sure. Roll on up. So I'm gonna have Allie,
Okay.
who is one of the plethora of hygienists, talk on that. And she's also on their leadership team.
And I'm fun committee.
And she's fun committee.
Whoa,
Fun committee.
nice.
All right.
So I would say that coming from the employee perspective first, the doctors here support us. They trust our decisions, which for us means a lot. Coming from being a patient here, my own perspective on that, they treat my family like their family. And so I have brought all of my family over here. And then coming from, just, I mean, trying to speak for everybody here, but, being part of this group is unlike any other practice that I've ever worked for. The longevity speaks for itself, I would say, and that exudes from us to our patients. So they see when we work well, it shows through, and it gives them confidence to refer others here. And so it's just kind of, it's just naturally grown that way.
Very cool. One thing about just you guys joining us today at Crown Council Live is the opportunity to connect with the community of 1,000 Crown Council doctors across the country. One thing that we try to inspire is sharing of best practices. Is there one or two things that you could share with the rest of the Crown Council group that you feel is worth sharing, that you guys have learned in the last year, that you're doing now, that might be helpful as a best practice to others?
We can talk, we just, well, thanks to the TOPS tutelage, we recently dropped our dependence on in-network insurance. And what we have found is that we didn't have much of a drop off at all because of the relationships that people have developed here in the practice. And what was also interesting to all of us is that through the coaching that Tanya and Steve have done for us, that it made it significantly easier. It was a long process because we spent about 8 or 9 months in having individual discussions with every patient that had a in-network Delta or Blue Cross, so that we caught all of them before we, or I should say we caught some or most of them before we actually dropped the insurance in network. And what we found is that other than some logistic things, most of the patients have been very accepting of it. They're, thank God, staying with us. And hopefully we're part of the reason that we're here today with our 2023 kickoff is to raise the level of service and service excellence even above and beyond what we had learned before, because obviously the ROI, the what we provide for our patients has to be significantly better when it's not insurance driven. So besides that, I think there's especially from TOPS, probably the best thing that all of us have gotten is just tremendous verbiage with every imaginable situation that we can possibly get. Sometimes we'd like to record Tanya and just hit rewind play again 400 times a day.
Excuse me, let me play this for you.
Exactly. Or the other thing is to walk in the one of the private areas of the office and smack yourself in the head and say, "What did Tanya say about this situation?" That's
what did I do?
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well,
Tanya, what service value are you teaching today?
Oh, we were doing the whole entire service value.
Oh, you're
part.
going through the whole deal.
And I have to brag because they really actually already had most of this in place. They already have a very well created vision statement and purpose and motto. And what we really were doing, we're just attaching really specific actions to their values and putting it in writing. So for them, this wasn't, something really new. It was just something more really putting it on paper.
Very cool. Well, we hope you guys feel connected to all the other Crown Council offices. We're grateful for your example and thankful for everything you've shared today to the group. So hope you guys have a great day with Tanya. As obviously, of course, it's going to be a great day, Tanya. Hey, also, don't forget to ask Tanya. There was one day at the annual event, Tanya, I won't ever forget when Tanya showed her state championship baton twirling show. Do not let her go without.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tanya. She's
Make
not going to be
her
on.
bring
She's
it.
not going to be on the show again after that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah. I'm still
But,
waiting on
if
that
you need
video
something during
where-
lunch or something.
I've looked for the video, Tanya. Though it's like a race, so don't worry. It'll never be shown.
All right.
Sorry.
See you guys
All right.
next. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Guys.
Bye. That was historical. That baton twirling. Unbelievable.
What was
All right.
that? Was that talent night?
Talent show. We did a,
talent
we
show?
did a talent
There
show.
was, speaking of the annual event, we have had two things that are most often requested that we have never redone. And one is the lip sync night, and one is the Crown Council.
Lip sync
talent
night
show.
was very fun, very fun.
We
And
may,
it-
we may have to reprise that at some time here in the future, but
And
we
lip
do
sync,
get that often.
lip sync night required no talent, so it was very fun.
I believe we even did one of those.
Hey, so we had another coach that we're waiting on. She's not here with us yet, maybe some technical difficulties, but we do have David Kirby waiting from Zions Bank Practice Pathways in the waiting room. So I'm going to bring him in. Let's see if he's ready. I know he's a little early, so let's see if he's available. I'll ask DJ to bring him in. So if you don't know David, as we bring him in, hey,
One of the good people.
can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Welcome. He's a banker. One special thing about David is that he actually lives in Salt Lake City with us. And David and I get to share a lot of time on the bike. So that's fun. We're like, I mean, we took that resource
Wait a minute.
partner level up a level. So
This is two separate bikes, though, not, you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
share time on the bike.
that would be awesome.
Tandem bike.
I'd ride in the front.
2023 tandem. So very cool. Hey, so like I was saying, David works for Zions Bank Practice Pathways. David, could you introduce that, what you do and who you are?
Sure, you bet.
Thank you.
So Zions Bank, Zions Bancorp is headquartered here in Salt Lake City. And I'm sure Greg and Stuart know this, but Zions is about the 35th largest bank in the country. And we're actually 8 different banks in the Western United States, and they all have their own name, but we're the same bank. And what Practice Pathways does is we are the healthcare lender for all of the banks in the Bancorp, and we're a national group, and we focus primarily in the dental industry, veterinary optometry, some pharmacy, some physician.
Very cool. And you've been a resource partner with Crown Council for quite a few years now, and we're excited to have you at the annual event. And if you don't know, you should. At the annual event, our resource partners are providing a lunch and learn. So they're breakout sessions during lunch where your team can go learn from 13, 15 different topics that are being taken care of at lunch. David will be one of them. Maybe give a little preview what people can expect to hear from which is almost full, by the way, very popular lunch and learn. What will happen at the annual event?
Yeah, the last lunch and learn I did was in Nashville prior to the pandemic. And I think a lot has changed in the economy since then. And I'm going to kind of speak in tandem with Jonathan Moffett of Aligned Advisors. And we're going to talk a little bit, primarily about the economy and the business side of dentistry, but we're going to focus on what worked to grow your practice pre-pandemic, and even in 2022 is probably going to be a different strategy in 2023. Now, if you look at the economy, but you specifically look at the business side of dentistry and the finance side of dentistry, like all of us, we've had major increases in dentistry and the labor cost, specifically for dental assistants, dental hygienists, dentistry has also suffered from supply chain interruptions. They have suffered from inflation, just like all of us have. But one thing that has been consistent or stagnant in dentistry, specifically if you are a dental practice that is higher in dental reimbursement from insurance companies, those reimbursements have stayed flat. So they have not increased at the same level that you are paying your staff increases, that you've had to pay rent or increases in interest rates, increases in your labor cost, increases in your operating costs. Those reimbursements have stayed flat, while everything else for you has increased. And so what we're going to talk about is really, so what do you do? You know, how do you run a leaner dental practice? How do you cut the fat when there's no real fat to cut? And how do you offset some of those decreases in your profit margin to continue to be bankable or continue to receive financing if you are focusing on growth? So that's kind of what we're going to talk
Nice.
about. And we want it to be more of an open environment for people to ask us questions, and we'll give our opinions the best that we can.
Very cool. David, if you didn't know it, Greg Anderson was an employee of Zions Bank years ago.
I know. And Steve told me when we did the TOPS event here in October, Steve, I'd heard this story, but Steve told me that
I'm
your
nervous
dad-
now.
that your dad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did Greg and Steve's dad did was it the marketing, Greg, for a long,
Yes.
long time?
Marketing. Oh, here he goes. We're diving
Wait,
into
Wait,
we're diving into scrapbooks
wait,
now. I shouldn't have opened this
wait.
can of worms. Oh, there's Gregor on the
Oh, there's
Zions Bank
Greg.
ad. Yeah.
Zions Bank ad.
The paint-a-thon, yeah.
Okay.
Wait. I mean, this is show and tell.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
I was
Black-
just going through those the other day.
That's
I'll tell
fun.
you just an unsolicited commercial. You know, there are people who still use checks, you know, to write. And there's a rule that if you have a check, it has to have the date on it that you opened your checking account.
Mm,
And my personal checking account says that my account with Zions was opened in March of 1972. That does show my age some. But I have learned a lot about banking over the years. And the one thing that I would say is the most important thing I have learned is that all of the money from all of the banks looks and spends exactly the same. And that the thing that makes the primary difference are the people who have their hands on your money. And that the personal relationship that you have with your banker is without a doubt one of the most important assets that you have in your business. And David is just good people.
Very.
yeah,
Very good.
we
You are good
appreciate.
people.
Yeah,
And,
Greg, thank you. We appreciate your business, and we appreciate the partnership, and we appreciate the long historic relationship your family has had with the bank. And that's something also with Jonathan and I are going to talk about are those relationships, and who, you know, as a practice, as dentist, a practice owner, who in the finance world, who you should have relationships with. And we're going to talk about that as well in our lunch.
it's one of the most important principles I view of business success is knowing who your financial team is by name and by face, and not just a location and an account number. So good for you guys. We appreciate you and surely appreciate what you Practice Pathways does for
Thank
our
you.
membership.
See you guys next week.
No, hey, you're not going anywhere. You're not
Oh.
done yet. Yeah,
I
no,
don't know
we
if my
got
time was up.
No, we gotta, I want to know about what insights, just a quick question. Okay. So what insights, did practice owners gain that you've seen from 2022, the market, things that have happened, and then what can they expect in 2023? Is there any advice or things that you're seeing there?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. That's a really good question. I think that what I've seen a lot in 22, as dentists have expressed frustrations with maybe Delta Dental. It doesn't matter who your insurance, you know, reimbursement provider is or who your patients are using, but just the fact that the reimbursements haven't gone up. But I would caution dentists to understand that impacts all of us, right? You know, at the bank, we saw the great resignation and people leave for higher salaries and just the cost of living and everything that we've done has increased. I remember the cost of a bicycle 5 years ago was half as much as what the bike I spend and what I bought now. And so we've seen that throughout the entire country. And it's not necessarily these insurance actuaries or financial analysts that are trying to stick it to the dentist. But to Greg's point, what we've seen successful practices do is focus on running leaner by building those relationships and asking their financial teams to sharpen their pencils and be their partner and not just their adversary, not just the person collecting the money, collecting the loan payment, but that partner, and they have to know them and they have to know who they are and have those either quarterly or annual meetings with their financial partners and ask them to help them grow their business and sharpen their pencils. And successful practices have done a great job doing just that.
Very cool. And is there anything from your perspective, a banker's perspective, that practice owners should be focusing on in just to grow their practices and become more profitable in the upcoming year?
Yeah, I think real quickly, I know it's hard to double the pay for dental assistants and hygienists, but you get what you pay for. And you just have to focus on, how do I grow that organic bottom line revenue? Because I have to pay for these individuals and I have to have the very best. And it's up to me as the dentist and the owner to treat my people the very best, but be their leader, be their coach, be their mentor, and be the person that takes them up the mountain, even though it's hard. They have to be the one that leads that charge, and you get what you pay for. And so if you refuse to pay someone's kind of going wage, and you're saying, I can't pay that person that, I've never paid a hygienist XYZ, then you get what you pay for. So again, you gotta be the leader that takes the entire practice by the horns and wrangles it in.
Very cool. Any other questions, Gregor, before we let David go?
No, I admire what you do, and I admire the history too. We see from our perspective, a lot of people that are involved in the financial side of dentistry come and they go. And it's really difficult when you're involved financially with somebody who is either new to the industry, doesn't understand it, comes in and makes a quick splash, and then they don't know enough to stick with it. And one of the things, not only are you good people, but you've been around a while, and it's always more comforting to do to be doing business with somebody that's seen the fat times, seen the lean times, and know how to bridge the gap and know what problems your customer really has.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
your lunch and learn ought to be awesome.
Hope so. Yeah. It's almost full, so we're excited.
Okay.
Excellent.
Stop praying for snow. We need it to stop for a week so everyone can arrive safely.
Yeah.
Did you guys see, just a quick commentary, that 4 of the top 5 that have the most snow ski resorts in the United States are all in the Little Cottonwood Canyons?
Yeah, did I see like over 600 inches or
No,
something?
400 inches.
Whatever.
That's almost a season though, right? I mean,
Yes.
it's only the mid-January.
Yeah.
And it's insane.
Okay. So stop praying for snow. We're gonna
Yeah.
everybody arrive safely. Very
Everyone's
good.
got to get here next week, and then
Yes.
it can start snowing again.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thanks, David.
All right,
Nice to
guys,
see you,
have a
David.
good day. We'll see
All
you
Yeah, you
next
too.
week.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right. Our other coach not here. So
Do you know
Gregor?
that, just a side note with David, good guy.
the best.
But I would reiterate what I said, that most of the successful people I know that run successful businesses know a guy like Dave Kirby
Yeah.
and have them on their team.
Well, if you've spent any time listening to the last maybe 15 episodes of the Mentor of the Month, as Steve and I have interviewed some of our past award winners and past business owners that we really admire inside the Crown Council, there is one message that almost all of them continue to reiterate, and that is they have mentors and coaches in their corner who help them with their practice. And without a doubt, you are correct. It's guys like David Kirby who are in the corner of a lot of those very successful practices, coaching them and helping them in areas and blind spots that they just don't know about, that they can't see, but David sees all day, every day with practices.
Or
in
when
his
you have a
business.
challenge, you're not you're not trying to create the relationship in the middle of the challenge. The
Yes.
relationship has existed prior to the challenge and they help you through it rather than calling, 1-800, I have a problem when the problem comes up.
All right, I'm gonna turn my phone on and I'm gonna go mobile.
Are you going down to the warehouse?
Yeah, I just gotta make sure I do this right and don't flub it up. So I'm closing off from my desktop and I'll join you live here in 1 sec. So you gotta carry the show here for a second, Gregor. You can talk
Okay.
about,
I'll explain the office to him.
okay,
Okay. We're on the second floor of an office building, and we look out to the west where we see the Ochre Mountains out to the west, totally covered with snow. And down one level, out the door, Stuart's going out the door now, down the stairs, is the Crown Council warehouse. Okay, you're going out the front door. You ready?
Do you guys want to see me or do you want to see the office?
Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. You're doing good.
Okay,
So far, you're still connected. You're good.
Good. Okay, we're going to the warehouse. Are we losing viewers? Can you check to see if people are all disconnecting?
No, but every time you lean your head forward, you get big head. You're still there.
Okay. Okay. That's the door. I'm going in.
Oh, must be the Crown Council's warehouse.
You turned off the alarm?
It's a good thing. If you open that door and the alarm's not turned off, it sends off a very loud sound.
Okay, I'm going to back up if you can still hear me. This is a Crown Council warehouse. We've been in this office building for almost 20 years. And this is one of the reasons why we moved, is because this warehouse allows us to host all of our annual event gear year round. So we start accumulating it and putting it in these pallets. As you can see here, check-in pallet, already labeled, wrapped, and ready to go. Our AV team will come and we'll go right out these doors to the loading dock. Okay, that pallet's not done yet. And here we go. We've got all these finished pallets in the back. Unfinished. Raffle wheel. So here they are. This is us. Welcome to the warehouse. This is more check-in stuff.
I think that this year
Check-in.
we determined we had 15 pallets. I think we're losing Stu.
Oh.
I think we're
Yeah.
losing his video.
I was going too deep into the warehouse.
There you go.
All right. Well, that was it. Nothing too exciting, but we're very excited for everybody to come. to the annual
15
event.
pallets this year. We got I think 15.
All right, Gregor,
There was one annual event I remember. Show them the well, the water in the well.
No, that's gross.
So there's a place down there in the bottom of there where the UPS truck got stuck trying to get the stuff out that we were sending to the annual event in the middle of the winter. So we're glad it's quit snowing here for a couple of days so that we can get the stuff out of the warehouse down to the hotel.
All right, we got all the check-in binders. All the folders are getting prepared. And we're ready to go. Okay, is that good? Is there anything else I should show?
You can show them Rachel sitting in her office panicking.
There's Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Marcy.
Hello.
All right, cool. Joey? There's Joey. Joey's Buffalo. All right, cool. Well, that's it for today, Gregor. Anything else?
No. So as Stuart said, next week at this hour, we will be opening the doors to the check-in experience at the annual event. And we're going to broadcast that experience live for a few minutes so that everyone has an opportunity to see the enthusiasm of the annual event and what's been created. Thanks for taking the time with us today.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody. We're done for this week. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.